it's not often I drink water actually. Um, I'm trying to cut down on having fizzy drinks because I I have a lot of fizzy drinks. So I drink a lot of Coca Cola. I can go through quite a lot of Coke, and sometimes I'll have like maybe like a little bottle of Coke a day. But then sometimes the same day I'll also have like a big bottle of Coke as well. Basically, whenever like I go out anywhere or I go anywhere, I go to a shop and I buy a drink, and it's normally a bottle of Coke. So I'm trying to cut down. So for the past couple of days, I've only been having one a day. And I've been like having more. I don't know, like I've been having more coffees. So I don't know if like having more coffees is really helping, because I don't know if I'm just replacing that fizzy drink with like a caffeine substance instead. But I've been trying like just staying at home and having a hot drink rather than going out and buying like a cold drink, or like buying fizzy all the time. And I've been quite. It's become quite a habit of going to the shop and buying a drink as well, and that adds up. And I've got to get out of that habit. So I've been trying to. I've been having a lot more hot drinks, but then sort of having hot drinks, I've kind of realised that I'm going through things like coffee and sugar quite a bit more. So I'm trying to just like drink some water as well, and sometimes I get some juice in and stuff, and I do that instead of getting a fizzy drink, just to try and help a bit. So welcome back to another stream. We've got two gig announcements today, and there is another gig announcement that I will be making sort of any time. Just sort of waiting on some fresh artwork, and then literally we're gonna go from there. So for me, I'm looking forward to this. This has kind of been like my October has just literally filled up, with some dates. And my October was quiet. Sort of after September, everything went a little bit quiet, sort of on the gig front. But they've started to fill up, so I'm quite happy about that. So the first one I'm gonna announce is another Ultimate Bounce. So Ultimate Bounce have invited me back again. They're doing like a little small residence night. Stroke, they've got some special guests and things like that. And they're doing a night on the 4th of October, the day before we go to the book in Driffield. So that is going to be again another weekend of gigging on the Friday and then gigging on the Saturday. But that's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, that's going to be a shed load of fun in itself. And then we are going to have a good time there again. So there's some, again, usual names involved, and then some good names involved, and going to be an absolutely a corker of a night, like they always are. So I'm looking forward to going back, playing for Ultimate Bounce again. And they've got my friend Nelly on the lineup again, so he's going to play for them for a second time. So I'm really buzzed that they chose to get Nelly on again, as Nelly, a good friend of mine, and he's not done all that many gigs. He's kind of just starting to just get his first couple of bookings, and it's really good to see. So he's getting these opportunities, and it's going really well for him. So that is really good. And yeah, I'm just gonna go and play another set there like I always do, and I always enjoy it. There isn't really too much I can say about it because I go there all the time. It's like, it's almost just like a kind of like I'm a resident kind of there now, almost, and I just go and play sets there, and I kind of know what to expect, and adapt to the vibe, knowing what the vibe is, and we just kind of go from there really. And It's a shed load of fun, if I'm completely honest with you. So that is all fine. That is all gravy. I'm really looking forward to that. And then we move on to the next gig, which is taking place on the 26th of October, and this is a kids' Halloween rave. So, Fusion in Grimsby, they are putting on a kids' Halloween event. So they're doing a kids' rave for Halloween. It's called Zombie Invasion, and of course, it's going to be fancy dress. There's going to be prizes for the fancy dress, and it's going to be a shed load of fun. Big shout to Gastic. It's you again. So yeah, they're encouraging fancy dress, of course, and there's prizes for the best fancy dress. So when it comes to family raves and kid raves, myself and the layman, we've been kind of chucked in at the deep end, and we've been given opportunities to do a few of these this year. We've done the official rave kids with Benjamin, which was, that was an eye opener. That was an absolutely an amazing event, and I hear that they're actually coming back to Hull again as well. So that would be really sick if I could play that one again. That was like, I'd never seen a club fill up so quick. We've done Skegness, we've done Bridlington. So, when it comes to doing kind of like family raves, we always kind of seem to be kind of like in people's minds, like who would we get for kind of like doing a kids rave. So yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna play a clubland set like we always do. We kind of always seem to. I get thrown in to do these clubland sets a lot now, and I am starting to. I am kind of starting to get used to them. They're a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've known Clubland for a lot of years. I followed the CDs growing up, but what you've got to understand with these like kids raves is you've got to understand that their attention span is not that good. So they can be very easily bored. So you've got to really manipulate the way you mix to try and keep it as entertaining as possible. For example, they aren't going to sit there while you play a full 6 minute track and mix out of it at the end. That they're going to get bored. They want changes. They want the energy to keep moving. It's surprising what classic tracks they know, but they most definitely like things to keep moving. So you're in with one song, and then before you know it, you sort of you're slamming the next one in, and that's kind of how like the kids raves go. And as well as like the clubland stuff, they like some kind of like remixes of like stuff that they know in the charts as well. So like Stick Season, that is obviously one that obviously goes down quite well because they know it from the radio, and stuff like that, and Texas Hold'em and stuff. More recent stuff they know. Miracle, Calvin Harris, stuff like that they know as well. And they like stuff like Heaven is a Place on Earth and I Want to Dance with Somebody. So it's a very sort of wide variety when you're doing a clubland set. And the tempo is not as fast as playing like a normal bounce set. You don't play at the normal 155 BPM. You sort of play sort of anywhere, 145, 150 is about the max really. So yeah, it kind of, you've really got to adapt to it. It's not like just turning up and playing a normal bounce set. You've got to be a little bit more, just more. You've got to think more about the type of set you do and the way you do it. And for me at first, it was definitely quiet. Sort of confusing at first because, like, you're not just playing a track and then mixing out of it. You've got to really manipulate the way you're doing that. And it was quite, because I'm used to like just normally playing to adults and you proper beat match and you go hard and you go fast and you do all the good stuff and then it's obviously different with that playing to that different crowd. All good my end. All good my end. So we've got that. So October is very very quickly filled up. So we've got the book, we've got the Ultimate Bounce, we've got two events that haven't been announced yet, and then we've got the family rave, we've got the fusion, the fusion, we've got the zombie invasion. So it's all happening. It's all taking place. It's all going down. It's all getting exciting. The October is kind of filling up. We've got the gig in November, which is doing the house night, which is on a Thursday night, believe it or not, charity night, playing sort of like a 90s kind of like house set. So that is obviously going to be really, really good. So November needs to fill itself up, and then obviously December. We have one gig in December that is the Fusion Bounce in Bolton. So I'm looking forward to that one. And yeah, we've got some good vibes. That's all I'm saying. Really, really good vibes, and it's really good this year. Like I've said in the past sort of couple of streams, we've had the busiest year, sort of out DJing. So it's been really good. It's definitely gone in the direction that I wanted it to go. I said I wanted to do the DJing more than the MC, and that has kind of really definitely come into effect. And this Saturday we're in Scotland, the big one in Oik, and that was kind of like the final MC gig, before I kind of like stepped it down for a while. So I was a little bit unsure whether to really do anything to really mark the occasion. Do I do some kind of post and say that's all, folks, for sort of MC Noble for now, or do I just kind of not really say anything and kind of because I'm not getting loads of MC bookings, but I know there's a few people that still like to book me for the microphone, and I do wonder, like, do I just keep taking them bookings, or do I just completely stop it? Do I even make a fuss about it, or do I just kind of let the MC Noble kind of slide away into the background, and then just slowly, like, oh, do you ever MC anymore? And just for that to sort of come up in conversation one day, or do I do like it? It's been great. It's been nearly 10 years, which it has. It's been great. I've loved every moment of the MCing. Just unfortunately, the main passion was always DJing. And you can. It's like love. You can try and fight it, but if there's love there, like, it's always going to be there. And DJing was always something I wanted to do. And it, and I gave up, and that was kind of a regret on my sort of part. But obviously, looking back now, like, never look back. Like, things happen for a reason. And I think the MCing, that kind of got me back into the music scene. It got me back into having kind of like a musical hobby, if you like. So that's obviously, that was obviously a good thing, which has led to kind of what it's led to now. So I've always kind of got to thank the MCing for that. But like I say, I always loved the DJing, and it was always going to come back at some point. And I'm just grateful that I can. I'm just grateful that I can go out into these nightclubs, and I can go and do this, and I can go and play sets, and do yeah, absolutely, and be able to do all these cool things that I get to do. So we've got a couple more gigs to announce once the artwork comes through. So and once I get the artwork for them, I will do live streams, and I'll announce the gigs. I'll announce where I'm playing, and what exactly is going down, with a couple of exciting ones that I'm looking forward to. and one of them actually isn't all that far away. So the artwork should be landing sort of any moment now. I think there was just waiting to find out how somebody's name was pronounced on the flyer, and then that will be sent off to be updated and changed. And it's a very, very local gig as well. And I think, when I say local, like, it really, really is local. So that is really good. So yeah, so we've got a couple more gigs coming that are very exciting. We're in Scotland this weekend. So normally what happens is I'll gig on the Saturday, and then I'll normally do like the aftermath on the Sunday. Sometimes I'll do it on the Monday at a push. I'm thinking that this weekend I'm actually staying in Scotland until Monday. So I'll be coming back Monday night. So my initial thought process is that I definitely won't do it on Sunday because I'll still be away having fun. Monday, depending what time I get back, depending how I feel, depending what's going down, will be whether I do the aftermath or not. So it's looking like it will more than likely be Tuesday. Although Tuesday it will have to be Tuesday daytime, as I'm unavailable on the Tuesday night, and then Wednesday kind of pushes it a little bit. So we'll try and do something sort of Tuesday daytime, and kind of see where we go. And that is all gravy. I'll give you a little update on regards to the motorbike as well. I've not updated you on the motorbike for a while. So I think I updated you on the accident that I had with the bike. So I'll just briefly go over it again for people that, because I can't remember what stream I mentioned it in. But for those of you who may or may not completely know, nearly 2 months ago I took the rash decision and bought a motorbike. So I do a lot of work that involves kind of travelling around the city, and I was getting a little bit annoyed of like public transport, relying on buses, etc., etc. I've had motorbikes in the past, like 125s on L plates and things. So I had a little bit of like thoughts of like, do I get a bike back? So all I was really doing was just keeping my options open, having a look online, seeing if any bikes come up, and doing a little bit of saving. And lo and behold, this bike came up on eBay, and the bike was actually from the city where I live. So I inquired about some information that the owner was going on holiday, so we put it into an auction. I went to the auction to have a look at the bike when they had a viewing day. The sale was actually the following day, so I decided to put a bid in. So I put a bid in. I got the bike in a really good condition for the price I paid for it. Really, really cheap. I need to redo my CBT test, so I can't ride it on the road currently at the moment. So I took it to a friend's house, and he's been storing it in his garage for me. To cut the story short, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I went up to my mate's house, and we were jet washing his garden. And to cut the story short, we were manoeuvring the bikes out of the garage, and I was just having a little bit of a play around with the bike, just having a proper sort of look over it, and decided to attempt to try the kickstart because I hadn't tried that yet. And anyway, I went to kickstart the bike, and I just lost balance and fell over with the bike, and I snapped the clutch lever. So I had to go online. I had to order a clutch lever. That came in the post nearly 2 weeks ago now, and I fitted the clutch lever to the bike. It's all fitted. My friend, he just took it for a little ride, just well, I wouldn't really say a ride. He just sort of took it off the drive, moved it forward enough, just accelerated enough to change gear, and then just and then went back down the gear, and then sort of turned around and came back onto the drive, charged the battery up. We sprayed part of the exhaust, so the bike is more or less ready to go. There's like a small, tiny little leak somewhere. Something's leaking. I'm not quite sure what it is, what's leaking. But just when it's running, there's just a real. It's not a bad leak, but there's just a little something that is just ever so slightly leaking, and it's dripping onto like it's dripping onto the exhaust pipe, and then it's just causing a little bit of steam to come off, a bit of smoke. And then the brakes are just they're just like, I think the bike's just been sat for too long, and it just needs a proper good. It just needs riding basically. So it's all more or less ready to go. I'll just have to, like I say, get the little leak sort of looked over, and once I start riding the bike, I'll obviously know about the brakes, and I'll know obviously, if the brakes just needed sort of like bedding in, from being, from the bike being stood for a while, or if there is actually an issue with the brakes, and then it'll just be a case of seeing sort of where we go from there about sort of getting things, sort of like, replaced and kind of like repaired and stuff. But apart from that, like, she starts up first time, the gears, it kind of you know, um, you know, the gears kind of the gears kind of skip a little bit. We thought like when you go into put it into neutral, it sometimes jumps and goes into second gear. So there's just a couple of small little things really that we've just come to notice. But in all honesty, I got the bike dirt cheap, so I can't really complain. Because these bikes go for a lot more than what I paid for mine, and I've got it in to say that it actually starts up first time and all the lights work and everything runs on it fine. Apart from just a few little minor things, you really can't complain for the price that I paid for it. And if it gets me from A to B for a little while, even if if I upgrade bikes in the future, at least if I can get a good few miles out of it, and it serves me some purpose for some road trips to my grandparents, and some journeys that I need to take for work, etc., then everything will be all fine for me. I'll be happy. That's money well spent in my eyes. So another update. I need to redo my CBT test. My CBT test has been booked, and it is actually a week on Saturday. So Saturday the 14th, I will retake the CBT test, and then after Saturday, I will be able to, apart from getting the bike insured and taxed, I will physically be legal to ride the bike on the road. The following week is when I think I will more than likely get it insured and taxed, um, just because I've got to wait for my payday. The test costs quite a lot. The insurance is not going to be the cheapest thing on planet Earth. So I've just got to wait and find kind of like the cheapest insurance again, and really 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 go for it. So I think it'll be looking more like the following week. So it'll be sort of like mid to late September before I actually do get it on the road, get some L plates on it, and just literally take it from there. So at least we're getting close to that target of getting on the road, which is a good thing, and it will really serve some purpose for me. So gigs, bike on the road, exciting things, music production is still moving. We've got Feel This Moment coming out on the 25th on Excite Digital. Got more tracks in the process. Just deciding what to do. There's one track actually. I think I'm going to submit it to Bounce Heaven. my remix of the Alejandro. For me, it's one of my favourite tracks that I've done. I really just think I like really nailed a lot of the sounds on it, and it just sounds really good, and it sounds really clear. So what I'm gonna do is potentially submit that to them and kind of see what happens. And then go from there. I might actually send that over tonight, just because I might as well while it's fresh on the mind. And then I've got some other tracks in the pipeline, and things that I'm working on as well. Some stuff that I'm going to test out on Saturday in Oik. So we move and we groove. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, share, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you soon.